one of the most frequent questions I get from people wanting to start or grow their detailing business. It's Oscar. There's so many other detailers in my area. They are cheaper than me and they're doing twice as much work than I do. How can I compete against them in my detailing business? So in this video, I'll cover that topic to help you see what can you really do or what you should focus on in order to be able to charge the prices that you want in your area and not make excuses. Let's get started. I get this question so many times of how are you able to charge those prices? Because in my area, there's too many cheap detailers and it's hard to compete against the pricing. All the customers try to nickel and dime me. I can never charge those prices in my area. So, you know, we charge what? $300 for an interior, $800 for an interior, $1,400 for paint correction and coating. So we've gone all across the board in terms of what we've charged to customers. So why is it that you're saying that in your area, you can't get those pricings and that you're having a hard time trying to get to the higher tiered upper echelon of pricing, you could say? So a big portion of that is going to directly come to supply and demand, meaning if you have 30 customers per week as an example, you can basically raise your prices a lot faster or a lot higher versus someone that only has 5 customers a week. Now, just because you have 30 customers per week doesn't mean that they're high quality customers that are willing to pay premium rates and that are completely focused on quality versus just price, right? Because on the other hand, if you only have 5 customers, but each of those 5 customers are paying you $1,800 per job, you can easily outweigh, say, oh, well, the one with 5 customers, much lower frequency, but much higher price point versus a 30 customers. So it's not just a black and white, oh, so I need more customers. Not exactly. It's supply and demand and also the quality of leads that you have coming into your business. So for us, we're in Houston, the 4th or the 3rd largest city in America. So if you think that we don't have cheap detailers in our area, or if you don't think that there's 5 other detailers that will do the same amount of work that we do for half the price and still do more, you're, sadly mistaken, right? So why is it that someone says to us or to me, oh, I wish I could charge those rates in my area, but there's too many cheap detailers? Do we not have cheap detailers around here, right? People are always asking me, hey, is $100 a good price for my services? I'm like, dude, the detailers on the street are charging that for what we're doing, right? So it's like, don't think that it is your area or that there's so many people around you or other detailers around you. It strictly comes back to, are you generating the demand for your business? Do you have people wanting your services? Are your skill sets or the results that you offer, are they actually of value where it's like, man, this guy or this gal really knows what they're doing. I want to go with them. Do you have the proper value proposition like that you're actually creating value more so than the other people in your area, right? Anyone can detail. It is not difficult. I don't care what anyone says. I don't care it is not difficult to detail. Interior cleaning, paint correction, applying ceramic coating, it's not difficult. If you think you need a degree in order to apply ceramic coating, you don't, okay? We're not building a freaking, I don't know, something crazy, something like that's actually complex that requires engineering and cost and like 1,000 moving parts. We are detailing and cleaning a car. Yes, there's a level of skill and experience that you need. Don't try to overcomplicate something because it's not. So when it comes to detailing, right, what can you do aside from detailing in itself to create a higher value for your customers that'll separate you between you and everyone else? For instance, a baseline of running your detailing business is to be able to offer, top tier results for your customers. That's like the baseline. If you're so focused on like, well, I'm the best, person for paint correction. Well, I'm the best at interior cleaning. If that is your measurement of why you're different, you are at the bottom of the totem pole of running a business because that should be the bare minimum. It's like if you have an employee, right? And they're like, hey, can I get a raise? And it's like, and their reasoning for wanting a raise is, well, I always show up on time. I do a good job and I never complain. It's like, that is the bare minimum. Like, why do we hire you here then, right? Like, am I supposed to be, and not that this has happened, but I've seen this at like when I used to work at other places. And it's like, are you supposed to be surprised that you showed up on time, that you did your job, and that you did what you were told that you were going to do when you were first hired? So like, so that's the bare minimum. Being a great detailer and offering great results, that's the bare minimum. What can you do beyond that to say, wow, these 2 detailers do the same thing, but man, I really like this detailer. Like, they made me feel a lot more comfortable, a lot better, a lot more confident in their services. So what does that mean? It can come in a variety of ways. A simple way is going to be the customer service and customer experience. Okay, so with us, right, at least we do our best to do this. If we know we if we have someone scheduled to come in at 10 a.m., we're gonna have someone ready at 10 a.m. So when they get here, it's like, oh, hey Johnny, glad to see you here at 10 a.m. And they're not gonna be waiting for us. We're not gonna be fumbling around. It's like, oh, I'm sorry. No, if a customer gets here at the right time, we have to say, hey, they're gonna be here at 10 a.m. Get everything ready. Make sure you're present and free. So that way, as soon as they get here, boom, okay, let's get to it, right? Because if they schedule with us, whether it's a TSA or we call that a test spot assessment. If they come in for a TSA, if they come for an appointment, they've agreed to this time. They're gonna show up. They're taking time out of their day, out of their schedule to come here to, you know, talk with us. So we have to be present and professional. Say, hey, at 10 a.m. this customer is coming. You are like, we have to have someone on, you know, ready to engage with that customer. Engage is a very serious word. But that's one way. It's like, we don't want the customer to wait. We want the customer to get exactly what they want. We're gonna tell the customer exactly what they're gonna get. We're gonna be very crystal clear of what the payment's gonna be, how much it's gonna be, the process that is gonna be. And that way, when the customer leaves here or when they're talking with us or even on the phone, we want them to be like, man, they answered every question. They were so confident. They made sure that they answered like any problems or like obstacles, any hurdles that like mentally I have to overcome of like, oh, do I really want to go with them? Is this really going to be good for my car? Is this the best option for me? You want to answer all those things. That way the customer is like, man, out of the 4 places that I called, they were happy to answer all those questions. They were excited to give me all that information. They really wanted to make sure that I had all the information that I needed about this service, right? So that's how you differentiate yourself from other detailers, right? That doesn't automatically mean, okay, so now everyone's going to book with you. No, not at all. But that's going to make the difference between the high quality customer and the not so high quality customer, right? The person that wants to spend the $800 to $1,600, they kind of want I want all the information. They want the good customer service. They want the good customer experience. The ones that want to spend the $30, the $50, that's more like, whatever, just, you know, throw my car in the process, wash it, and give it back to me, right? So you have to find ways, and this is just one example. There are many other little milestones across the experience that you can do in order to elevate that experience, right? I'm not gonna go into every single last thing, but there are so many things that you can do. And again, if this is like a new thing to you, like if you're like, wow, Oscar is saying a bunch of cool stuff, you're kind of falling behind at this point, right? Like that's the whole point of like, this is how you set yourself apart from everyone else. So like if you're watching this video and you're like, wow, he's making a lot of good points, you are probably behind on creating a great customer experience. Okay, like if you're waiting now, if you've been in business for 2, 3, 4 years and you're just now saying, oh, that makes sense, you got some work to do, because there's a lot of other things that you can just be like, wow. But anyways, you get the point where you have to focus on how can you make this the best experience for your customer. Same thing like when I went to Lululemon, all right? I went to Lululemon for the first time. I've always wanted to go. There's one in the Galleria, but I'm not about to go to the Galleria. Like that's just like a big no-no for me. I hate the area of the Galleria. Anyways, I went to a Lululemon, and as soon as you walk in there, the staff, absolutely fantastic. Looking nice, well presentable. Every single thing that you see in there is like, wow, I could tell that this is high quality material. Even that the bag that they give you to that has your clothes, you're like, you're holding the bag and you're like, I'm not gonna throw this bag away. Like, this is such a nice bag that I'm gonna keep it, right? And it's like the total experience was just fantastic. So think about like, what restaurant have you gone to, or what business have you worked with where you're like, dang, like this was a great experience. Like, I don't even want to spend any money, but I just want to do something else with you guys, right? Like, who has been that business to you, right? And it doesn't have to be detailing. Like, what restaurants, what entertainment business, what theater did you go to where you're like, man, this, you know, talking with you two guys, fantastic experience. I would love to come back here. So try to emulate that into your operations. So that's, again, this is just one part of how you're able to charge higher prices. Going back to the beginning of the video, supply and demand, of course. Second part is making sure that the customers that you are attracting are of high quality, meaning they want quality over price. And third is, not that these are in any specific order, right? One doesn't come before the other. Everything is kind of on equal playing field. And last one is, are you creating a great customer experience and do you have great customer service in order to really set yourself apart from your competition? Because it can't just be on, well, I'm the best detailer. Okay, dude, cool. So are 50 other people in your area, you know? So that's gonna wrap up this video. Let me know what you think in the comment section down below, and I'll talk to you guys on the next one.